It's time to break down some football.
We got to get our mind right. Touchdown, win.
From the perspective of guys who played in the NFL.
Caught, touchdown!
And a guy who had one really great sack in high school.
Oh, you're so weak. You're a waste of my time.
Greg Camarillo and Marcus McNeil are the pros. And Skraby is the Joe.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's go.
Two Pros and a Joe starts right now.
I don't know if you guys have seen this, but this is the best my hair has looked in like the last maybe 2 weeks because I'm having a good hair day. This pandemic has ruined my hair game. It's ruined it. It's terrible. I can't believe it.
Where do you get your haircut at?
Thank you.
Where do you get your haircut at?
No. Actually, I have a friend who she cuts hair, and as soon as the second like Gavin Newsom stay-at-home thing came down, I was like, I need to get in. Fit me in somewhere because my hair is super long. And she goes, I got you. No worries. And then like 2 hours later, everything came down. She's like, I don't got you. So that was terrible.
2020 has shown that I possess a talent that I didn't know would be a survival technique, but I cut my own hair. And I've been doing it ever since I've had multiple kids, and it's just a pain in the butt to get to the barbershop. But it's the greatest. I might put it on my resume.
Way to go. I'm seeing I'm feeling the beard, you know what I'm saying? Greg, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm loving the shadow, you know, you look real Vin Diesel-y right around here. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Strong hairline, bro. Like, I can give you that. I was going to ask you, did your wife cut your hair? You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't know that was the actual thing. You know, I didn't know guys actually their wives cut their hair, but my neighbor does it and he swears by her, you know, and I'm just like, that's as henpecked as it gets. You know what I'm saying? Like,
what you been doing with the beard, Big Mac?
Yeah.
Oh man, just letting it go like Moses. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I had cut it off at the beginning of the year. I was growing it out for a few years, and then I came home, cut it off. The wife almost kicked me out. You know, so when the pandemic came back, I was like, hey, what a better time to start back the beard, you know what I'm saying? So I'm just gonna let it grow, you know what I'm saying, until she makes me mad, then I'll probably cut it back off. You know?
Oh, you're gonna hold it ransom, the beard ransom. I love that.
The beard ransom, you got to, man. Shaggy.
You got to. I love that. Well, this is Two Pros and a Joe. I am the Joe of the podcast. I'm Matt Skraby. You can find me on Twitter, Instagram at Matt Skraby. We also have our two pros, Greg Camarillo, 8 years in the NFL with the Chargers, Dolphins, Saints, and Vikings, and Marcus McNeil, 6 years with the Chargers at left tackle. You can find Greg on Twitter at Catch Camarillo. You can find Marcus at Marcus McNeil 73. You can find the podcast at the number Two Pros and a Joe on Twitter, and then same on Instagram. It's really great that we picked a name that no one has, because we can get all of our names in there without having to like put a 0 in for an O or something like that. So very happy that we got those names, and we want to talk football and bring both perspectives. So the pros give the perspective from the field, and I ask the questions. And I'm just going to start with last week and let's talk about Ronnie Brown joining the show. That was awesome, outstanding stuff about mental health and life after football. So thank you, Ronnie, again for coming on the show. And I'm really sorry, guys, I geeked out a little too much on the Wildcat.
It's all right, man. It was a great experience. Ronnie talked about surrounding himself with people smarter than him. And that's what we did. We surrounded ourselves with Ronnie because he was smarter than us. And he taught us some things.
He did. Yeah. He really did.
He definitely dropped some jewels off last week, you know, and I knew Ronnie Brown would do that. Every time you talk to the guy, like the conversations that we have are just so enlightened. They're not regular conversations that you would think, you know, two jocks are sitting around having, you know, and that wasn't the first time that he's talked to me about financial literacy, things that he's been doing. And I was just glad to get him on the show because he has a wealth of knowledge that he can give out. And I'm glad to see him advising people on what they can do, you know, especially learning from some of the mistakes we made, the ups and downs that it goes with being a professional athlete.
Oh, for sure. And I had more people reach out and tell me, and I'm sorry that this is the kind of stigma of the athlete, but I had more people tell me that Ronnie Brown was so eloquent in what he said that it shocked them. Not that they thought he was dumb or anything like that, but they just didn't expect the type of knowledge and the depth that he brought to the podcast, and just really really bringing attention to some things that are really important. And I can't thank him enough for that. And I was thinking about it for a couple days afterwards. So thanks guys for getting Ronnie B on the show.
Yeah. Well, what we know about the NFL, and Big Mac will tell you as well from being there are a lot of morons. So let's not pretend like everyone is intelligent.
Oh man.
Teammates. But the flip side of that is you also don't get the news of Ronnie Brown's really smart. You just find out about when dudes are screwing up. And like we did this last week with Dwayne Haskins. So, he got in trouble for going to a strip club during COVID, breaking protocol, and then hasn't been playing well. Got a chance to start because Alex Smith was hurt, and then immediately gets cut.
Well, I can tell you why he got cut.
All right, let's go.
Well, they were tired of him, and if I wish Ronnie Brown would get a hold of Dwayne Haskins because he doesn't have a job anymore. He's just kind of wasted an opportunity in the NFL, and I don't even know where he goes from here. I don't know that he has a chance to make it back. He made it through waivers, and that means that no teams even put a claim in on him, which means that no teams, and I am shocked by this, that no teams were willing to take a chance on him. Well, 0 teams.
When you get a guy off waivers, you inherit his contract too. So that
that makes a big difference as well.
Yep.
So we're probably going to see some teams here in the next few weeks give him a chance, or maybe next season.
Bro, like that's just tough on Dwayne Haskins' part. Like I hate to see guys like go down the drain, especially that quick. And it's so tough to get opportunities in this league, especially at the quarterback position. You got to show up and be one of the premier people on your team if you're going to plan on being that field general week in and week out. And I think that just wasn't shown in the way he prepared for games, the way he was coming to the facilities. You mix that in with the trouble of not following the protocol when it comes to wearing face masks, being in the strip club, being out. And I'm going to tell you, by having Ron Rivera as our defensive coordinator in San Diego, that's not the type of guy he is. Like Ron Rivera is going to hold you accountable, and he holds everybody on his defense accountable. I remember that about him, and he didn't play favorites. So to see him come in and make a decision like that early on, it really didn't surprise me, especially since that wasn't his guy that he picked out the draft anyway.
Yeah, I looked at it as a culture move. You've got this guy that is making your team look bad, breaking the rules, and then playing bad. So how do you make a statement as a coach? Well, let's get rid of him. If you are not worth your headache, it's time to go. But in another light of that, it actually, and this may sound weird, but helps Dwayne Haskins to be cut now as opposed to stringing him along and then cutting him late next year, because now he can, granted, he'll get his money for the rest of the year, but he can get a fresh opportunity with another team early, as opposed to, them waiting until he either gets a roster bonus or waiting until the end of camp and cutting him when no one's looking for a quarterback. So it's a shitty situation for Dwayne Haskins, but cutting him now actually helps him.
It does help him, but and I'm going to go back to my days as an alcoholic. I put myself in that situation, and he put himself in that situation, and I can't think of anything more disrespectful than telling your coach with cancer, I don't care about your health, because Dwayne Haskins is going to a strip club with no mask. If he goes to the strip club in any other year, this isn't a big story. It's just us making fun of him for getting caught at a strip club. But the fact that Ron Rivera beat cancer, still fighting, he's not still fighting it, but he just got over cancer. He coached for the Washington football team with cancer. Dwayne Haskins is like, coach, I don't care. I don't care you had cancer. I'm going to the strip club. And those are things that I don't think he even realizes, because he's a young dude. I was that dude for sure.
Right. I think we were all those dudes. And you're absolutely right. If it's not this year during the pandemic, nothing even happens. Nothing even happens to you. No one's even saying anything. But the fact that you do end up going out this year, you get caught. You looking like Lemon Pepper Lou. I don't know if you guys heard about
who? I'm sorry.
I don't know if you guys heard about Lou Williams when he was supposed to, everybody was supposed to be in the bubble.
Yeah.
The world famous Magic City in Atlanta.
He did. I remember this now. Yes.
He just wanted some chicken wings, man. That's all he went there.
He just wanted He just wanted the lemon pepper wings, you know what I'm saying? So now he was calling lemon pepper Lou, you know what I'm saying? So unfortunately, it didn't work out that well for Dwayne Haskins. You know, he was already on a short leash, especially with Alex Smith coming back playing well. You know, they felt like they had to find that quarterback, but now Alex Smith has come back and showed that he can still be that premier quarterback for you. Now I don't really need you as much. I'm sorry. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have a quarterback who has proven himself already and who is going to put the team first. And that's what you have to have as a quarterback. You have to have somebody who puts the team first, you know. But I ain't gonna lie. When I heard Booger earlier talking about it, it did rub me the wrong way. You know.
Well, let's get to that. Let's get to that, and then you can give your thoughts after. This is Booger McFarland. I believe he was on Monday Night Countdown, one of those shows on ESPN yesterday, talking about Dwayne Haskins in this situation. And it's about 2 minutes long, but he is very passionate, and he has everything that he wanted to say in this clip.
You know, unfortunately, I've seen this too many times. Played in the NFL almost a decade. You played a long time. We've been around it for a long time. And oftentimes young players, especially, and I'm going to go here, especially young African-American players, because they make up 70% of this league. They come into this league and they ask themselves the wrong thing. They come into the league saying not, how can I be a better player? They don't say, how can I be a better teammate? They don't say, how can I be a better person? How can I get my organization over the hump? Here's what they come in saying. They come in saying, how can I build my brand better? How can I build my social media following better? How can I work out on Instagram and show everybody that I'm ready to go, but when I get to the game, I don't perform? Dwayne Haskins, unfortunately, is not the first case that I've seen like this. Yes. And it won't be the last. And it bothers me because a lot of it is the young African-American player. They come in and they don't take this as a business. It is still a game to them.
They look at it as football.
This ain't football, right, man. This is a billion-dollar business.
Yes.
It's billions of dollars. They pay us a lot of money to talk about the game. So imagine what they pay these guys to play the game.
Yes. Yeah.
They play a child's game and get paid a king's ransom. And it bothers me because I saw a quarterback do it. I saw Jamarcus Russell do it. The number one pick in the draft, they gave him $40 million and he threw it down the damn drain because he didn't take it seriously. And it bothers me because there are a lot of jobs like this around. I'm going to tell you, I've been retired a while. It's not a lot of jobs like that around where they will pay you millions of dollars for virtually 6 months of performance. So my message to Dwayne Haskins, not just him, but the rest of the young players in the NFL, man, this is a game, but take it as a business. There are billions with a B of dollars at stake. And until you start approaching this game that way, until you start coming to work saying, you know what can I do to get better today? What can I do to make sure my teammates are better today? How can I put my organization first instead of my damn Instagram? Take it as a serious business, but too many times it's a game. We want a TikTok. We want to do all these different things. Man, do you understand how much money is at stake?
First off, that was from ESPN. Booger sent that in a tweet. He said, because he took a lot of heat for this, a lot of heat. He said, my message was to all players, which I said, but specifically to the part of the NFL that makes up almost 70% the African-American players. And of course, I'm not speaking to all, but in my 20 plus years around the NFL, I've seen too many cases. I stand by what I said, whether you agree or disagree. And I got to respect him for standing up for what he said. But what are your thoughts, Marcus? I know that you wanted to talk about this.
I think the biggest thing was, and he deserves a lot of heat. Whenever you go and single out African Americans in general, like, to me, that's where the heat comes in, because now you're not just talking about what I feel like the issue is immaturity. Like, these kids are coming in and they're being immature. No one's teaching them the business of the game. You're coming out of college, you're not getting paid for it. You coming out of college playing just for the camaraderie and just playing for your brothers side by side. So it's not a business to you yet. So for you to think that somebody's going to come in their first, second year and understand this game like a full business before they're groomed to understand like a business, it's just ridiculous to me. You know what I'm saying? And then to sit there and talk about the African Americans, it ain't got nothing to do with you being African American or Latino or white. It's if you're immature or not. I can name quarterbacks like Johnny Manziel and Ryan Leaf who came out there and who were busts, who did terrible things throughout the league. But instead, you want to go and just because you feel like you're a part of that race. I just don't agree with that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not the type that's going to go and put down anybody in general. You know what I'm saying? Yes, I'm going to have my opinion on it, but like when you singled it out about African-Americans, like, yeah, you're going to get some heat about it. So I'm not saying that he should have backed down off of what he said. I just think that he should have thought it through before he said everything. You know, I understand that sometimes guys are trying to get, you know, as much, you know, attention as they can, because that's what the media does. That's what you are as a broadcaster. You want to say something that's going to bring people to you to watch. The same way I want to say something funny to make you guys want to come listen to Two Pros and a Joke. Yeah, but at the same time, there are real people that live behind some of these words that you're saying. You know what I'm saying? So if anything, that brother to the side and teach them the errors of his ways. You know what I'm saying? Pick up a phone call, reach out to him. You have enough reach to do that. You know what I'm saying? You're the guy sitting on Monday Night Football who would love to take a mentor like you who's been through it. You know what I'm saying?
Do you think that's true, though? Do you think that's true, though? Do you think if Booger reached out to Dwayne Haskins, he's taking his phone call?
I believe that if somebody reaches out to me personally that I respect, you know what I'm saying, I'm taking that phone call. I'm the type of person who listens to people who are older than me because that's the easiest way to make it through a situation. Something my grandfather said once again, and I love to throw him in on everything. He always says, I've been 27 before. You never been 73. You know what I'm saying? So you can take advice from guys like that. You know what I'm saying? So the fact that he was young, immature, making mistakes like that, I just don't think you just throw him up under the bus. And that's what it seemed like he was doing. I'm glad that he recanted and kind of came back and talked about how he wasn't trying to just isolate those guys. But that's the way I felt when I first heard it. And that's why I was so passionate about it it just rubbed me the wrong way.
I'm with you, Big Mac, 100%. But for slightly different reasons. And it's one, the Dwayne Haskins situation to me, without knowing enough of his personal life and personal behavior, is not a racial issue. You could always, you know, there are facts that say there are fewer adult male Black role models for young men like this. More Black athletes may come from poverty, may come from broken homes. To me, that is not this situation. I quickly Google searched and there's Dwayne Haskins Sr. right there at Dwayne Haskins signing day. So to me, that's a separate issue. What he talks about specifically is why he's wrong. And he said, specifically African-American players don't come into the league saying, how can I be a better player? From my experience, that's flat out wrong. You're going to get an equal
generalization.
Equal amount of guys that don't work hard and guys that do work hard. How can I be a better teammate? I mean, Ronnie Brown proved that. Big Mac proved that. I mean, that's ridiculous. You know, how can I be a better person? Like,
come on now, like you stretching.
Black, that doesn't make any sense. And then the last part, the other part where I can tell you flat out he's wrong. He's saying, hey, Dwayne Haskins is worried about how can I build my brand. They tell us, build your brand. Use this opportunity to build your brand. Use it. And I do the same with my college athletes. Use social media to build your brand. What are you about? Because you have a platform. Use it. So it's fine to build your brand. And it's just, you know what? He made a bad, immature decision, just like Big Mac said. And then he's just not good at playing football, just like Booger wasn't good at Monday Night Football. That's not his problem. Dwayne's just, he was not a first round pick, and that's the problem. But Booger was wrong. Big Mac is right. It's an immaturity problem, not a racial problem.
Bro, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't even understand when you say I'm not trying to be a better player. Then why did I come to the NFL? Like, I'm literally starting over to get the starting job. I had one job, and that's to become the best player at my position so that I can get on the field. How don't you have that mentality going in there? And for the people who don't have that mentality, those are the people that don't stay. That's the nature of the beast. That's the game. That's why you have guys who can come from small schools who you might not have known about, but their work ethic and the way that they attack the game is so much better than somebody who comes from a big school or SEC school or a Big 12 school like that thinks that they already have it. And guess what? They end up out the league. But it's a privilege to play this game. And you don't just get to play the game unless you bring your best foot forward all the time. So Dwayne Haskins, didn't bring his best foot forward. And I think that's why he ended up in the situation that he's right now.
For sure. And Booger said that he doesn't want guys to TikTok and doesn't want guys to Facebook. Sorry, Booger. That's the world we live in, bro. That's what we got. Like, I don't know what you want from us. Those people are always going to, and I'm not saying those people, I'm saying the young people are always going to want a TikTok. I was at the gas station the other day, and these 3 girls that were probably in high school or something walk up to a gas pump, put their phone on it, and start doing this crazy dance in public. I'm like, what the hell are we doing over here? I feel like an old man.
Did you get in the background?
No, I did not get in the background.
Hey, so I 100% agree, Scrapes. This is a man that's not of the generation, judging the generation of first-round draft picks now, of any NFL player now, except for the old quarterbacks. And that's what they do. I watch them on TikTok before I go to bed. I see what they're up to, and that's just life.
You're a TikTok guy?
Yeah, I would love TikTok. I'm yet to post a video, but it's great entertainment, and that's what you can't judge the behavior of Dwayne Haskins by your generation. You got to judge it off of his generation.
It's so true. I mean, if we're gonna talk about people dancing on logos and TikToking, why didn't Booker bring up Juju Smith-Schuster, who's been doing that for the last couple of weeks, to the point where they got embarrassed on Monday Night Football, and people were blaming him for giving the Bengals, something to work towards, which is beating them, and they did, and they played out of their mind to beat the Steelers on Monday Night Football, and that's why it was like it was a little tone deaf for Booger to say that, and he needed to run that take by someone.
Because Juju's good at his position, that's why.
Is he?
Oh yeah,
is he?
Oh, stop it, Skraby. Juju's good. Man.
I'm not a big Juju fan. I do feel like in that case, Juju Smith-Schuster is. This is going to be a crazy take, is more concerned about his social following than what's going on the football field. I feel like Juju knows that this is his chance to build his following, and he can play video games the rest of his life on Twitch and have people pay attention to him. It, based on nothing at all, just basically seems to me like Juju would rather have a big TikTok video than have 150 yards on Monday Night Football, and that's just me.
When you're 11-0, and on your way to 11-0, you are allowed to do whatever social media you want. And now that they're losing, he's catching heat for it. And that's fine. To me, if you're going to put yourself out there, you got to be able to take the heat. That's fine. Dance on a logo. You're going to, like T.O. did, and when he got blasted for dancing on the Cowboys logo, that's fine. Just when you put yourself out there, be able to take the heat.
By the way, can you imagine if T.O. had social media?
Oh, no. Man, that'd be great.
That would be train
oh my
wreck.
God. First of all, if they had social media like for real, when we was coming up, it'd be a lot worse. You know what I'm saying? Because there are a lot of things that didn't make it out there because there wasn't a million phones, you know what I'm saying, following everybody around all the time. Like there are a lot of things that I regret, you know what I'm saying, that I'm glad didn't end up on social media, so to be honest, I kind of respect new school because it's like you have to be honest. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to be who you are because guess what? Somebody is going to put you on blast. Somebody is going to know what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? Every time you go out as a professional athlete, you already have people who are idolizing you or looking your way because, oh, I know that guy. Oh, that's that guy from football, or that's that basketball player I know. Let me get a picture with him. Let me do this. You know what I'm saying? So from now on, every time you're ordering a burger at McDonald's, you're liable to end up on somebody's Instagram feed, you know what I'm saying? Because people just love to put you out there.
That's true. So it's a tough position to be in.
Yeah. It is a tough. It is a tough situation to be in, but I think honesty is the key. You know what I'm saying? There shouldn't be that many things that people need to be hiding anyway. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
it's like the influencers on Instagram or Twitter or whatever, where they're tweeting, oh, off to Miami, and they're tweeting from like a jet, and people like this has happened before where this influencer says that they're off to Miami on some private jet, and some dude who follows him is walking down the aisle of a commercial flight, and they take a picture and say real cool jet. Like you can't do that.
That's hashtag Bow Wow challenge right there, Skraby.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, that's the Bow Wow thing.
But then, I mean, just to wrap all that into one thing, it goes right back to what Booger said, where he was wrong. It's build your brand, and it's building an authentic brand. If you are Juju and you're a party guy, then that's part of your brand. If you are, if you're tweeting Jesus stuff, if you're tweeting religion, and then you're caught at the strip club, it's going to be problems. But if you're tweeting strip club and you're in the strip club, not a problem. The key is build your brand authentically, and things are going to be all right.
Do we think the media has do we think the media is covering people in a certain light to make us think certain things? Like, how do you guys feel about the media and covering players in the league? Because Booger, obviously, you guys don't agree with him, and a lot of people didn't agree with him. But I see some things out there where I'm like, why are they pointing that out? I didn't need to know what he did in college. I didn't need to know that.
Yeah, I definitely think it's a love-hate relationship when it comes to the media. You have certain guys who, like probably me, Greg, we love doing the media thing. I've always loved taking interviews, talking back and forth about sports. I would do this regardless of what's going on. I could be standing in a grocery line, and if a guy has on a jersey, we probably going to start talking about his favorite player or his team. Like, that's just what we do because we grew up in this, in just this era of where football and sports is just that great. Mm-hmm. Right. So you turn around, and with the media, you have certain people who try and nitpick and find the negative spin things because they know those things will drive the attention to it. They want to excite people with negativity. To me, it's like watching the Real Housewives of Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
no, I don't know, Big man.
Yeah, tell us, please.
No, well, I'm about to tell you. Let me make sure my wife don't hear this. But you know the drama's coming. You know what I'm saying? And that's why people tune in week in and week out. Why the ladies? You know what I'm saying? And shoot, I done watched the episode or two. They're hooked into it because of just like of all the back and forth and just the fighting and the cat. You know what I'm saying? The
cattiness.
Like,
yeah.
I think. Yeah, and I think that sells sometimes. So you have certain reporters, and it's not everybody, but people know those reporters in the locker room who aren't really trying to get the best soundbite from you. They're not trying to get like your point across. They're trying to find that one little thing that they can pull out of there, slap it on top of their article, you know what I'm saying? And now people are reading that because of this one sentence that you said, and it's just terrible to me. So I think the media gets a bad rap on that because everybody's not like that.
That drama is the clickbait. If it said Dwayne Haskins does his homework, becomes better player,
I'm not clicking.
That's not interesting. Dwayne Haskins, maskless in the strip club.
I'm clicking.
But so one thing that I've seen the media split on this last week, and that you could say it's drama, particularly social media and Twitter split, the Tua Fitzmagic situation.
Oh yes.
So half the people, at least half the people I follow, are screaming, this is a disaster. How can you start two quarterbacks? That just means Tua sucks. And then people like me are all on board with having a starter and having a closer, like it's a baseball game. Yeah. And I would love to hear what your guys' thoughts are, but it seems to be something where the media is split. They can't decide which way they're going to go with this.
Very polarizing because it's not really, it's not a thing that's happened in the NFL where you have two quarterbacks that come in and you have one guy who starts the game, which I don't think he should have started the game to begin with. But you have another guy who closes the game, and I'll let Marcus go first, and then I'll fill in the blanks.
Well, I to be honest, I got to give it back to Greg because Greg said this earlier in the year. I think he was saying that, we could have two quarterbacks. And I was like, that is absolutely the most preposterous thing that you could possibly do in the NFL. What are you talking about, Greg? And I'm talking about, I was feeling good about it. And then Ryan Fitzmagic comes in and just starts slinging guns, taking them down there for the W. And it's like, wow, like it worked. You know what I'm saying? Like it really worked, like it's not a one trick pony, it's a two trick pony, you know what I'm saying? And I think like it really baffles defenses so much when they throw a new guy in, especially when you seen the first guy the first 3 quarters and now the new guy's in. It's not that he's doing that much different or he's coming in and he's that much greater than Tua, but I think mentally it just really bothers defenses when you change up the quarterback like that late in the game.
See, if that's the case, and that's the strategy, then I get it. I mean, that's what they're trying to do, and so that's okay. For me, it feels like Brian Flores is like nervous about Tua and not having him out there at the end of the game. And if you don't have the trust in Tua to keep him in there when he needs to play his best, then why do you have him out there at all? And you know what? Ryan Fitzpatrick comes in, he could easily throw an interception during that game. And we're talking about how stupid it was that he came in the game, but he didn't. He won the game, and that's why we're talking about.
The last time they swapped him, he threw an interception.
That's true. Yeah. That's right. And I don't know about Tua. He looks like a dink and dunker to me. I'm sorry. He just looks like a guy who's going to throw 5 yards down the field. Whenever he maybe it's because he's lefty, but whenever he throws a deep pass, I'm like, that thing isn't going to go 20 yards. I could throw it farther with my bum shoulder.
Bring up play back our old lefty discussion from podcast number 3 or whatever.
Yeah.
So, I set you guys up just so I could share my own opinion about this.
Case studies. Yes.
I've analyzed. I don't have a case study because this hasn't happened before, but I have analyzed it, and you are both 100% correct.
Oh,
it looks like Ryan Fitzpatrick is going to throw an interception. That's why he's not in there earlier, because he's a gunslinger. He does throw more interceptions. What we know about Miami, great defense. All you got to do is keep the offense in the game, and that's what Tua is doing. He's making smart, short passes. And if you on Twitter, they had this passing chart. Tua throws everything short to the right. Ryan Fitzpatrick throws everything deep to the left. And that's exactly what Marcus got to, is it messes up your defense. You've seen one thing the entire game, and then suddenly you see something else. That messes you up. And is it going to work all the time? Absolutely not. But when you need to roll the dice, throw in the gunslinger and intercept, you're losing. Interception loses anyway. Why not see if we can bomb it downfield and make something happen? It's exciting to me. And just for that reason, because I'm a Dolphins fan, the playoff hunt. One more week. I love it, man.
Okay, so they're in the AFC Championship. They're down the same exact situation. Are you putting in Ryan Fitzpatrick in the AFC Championship with a Super Bowl berth on the line?
All right, let me ask you, when did Tua get his first college action? Do you know that?
Yes, I know. Chris Ello makes this out
in overtime. They benched somebody to put Tua in.
They benched Jalen Hurts.
Benched Tua to put Fitzpatrick in. I'm cool with that. It's karma.
I said it's coming back to bite him. Oh my God, that was. I'm not gonna lie. When I saw that, when Nick Saban pulled that move, that was the most gutsy coaching call. I'm talking about college football, NFL, high school, Pee Wee League, whatever. It don't matter. When he made that decision, I was like, "Are you serious?"
In the national championship.
In the national championship game. Come on now. I felt so bad for Jalen Hurts. I felt like he needed some redemption, and that's why I'm always at bat for him in Philly right now, literally, because I saw him, who was such a great player for them. I'm talking about running off years of that Alabama offensive where they're going to the national championship game. They're going undefeated. And then for you to get snatched out in the national championship game, I was hurt for him. That was just heart-wrenching for any football player to watch that happen.
And he took it like a champ. He took it like a man.
He took it like a champ. I think that's a credit to where he is now, because he had that character. Like if he would have been that guy who was whining and bitching and moaning about, I can't believe they did this. Throw me in the portal right now. I'm going to another school. I think that's a blemish on him coming out, But instead, he stood there and showed that he could be a team player. And those are the type of players that you want in your locker room.
That is true. I like Jalen Hurts a lot. I think he's a good leader, and that shows because the team likes to play for him. But if we're talking about the actual Tua playing, I just don't see top 10 pick. When you look at Jalen Hurts and you look at Justin Herbert and you look at those two guys, and Jalen Hurts came in after Carson Wentz, which, it was a dumpster fire in Philadelphia before he came in. I just don't see the talent there yet. And I know that Tua needs time. I know I can't just give him 5 games and decide his career, because if that was what happened with Alex Smith with the 49ers, he would have been out of the league years and years and years ago. But I just don't see the top 10 pick there.
You know what? I don't fully disagree with you. He's going to have to improve to show that he is a top pick. And it might happen, but right now Joe Burrow, he's hurt, but he was playing better football. He showed more promise, I should say.
Yeah.
And Herbert is unreal. So he's the best looking rookie quarterback.
But the Dolphins could have taken him.
Yeah, but we didn't know that. Nobody knew that. Otherwise, he would have been the first pick. He's the best looking quarterback I've seen since Andrew Luck, and he's about to break Andrew Luck's record. So,
yeah.
Credit the Chargers coaching scouting staff, but I think that was more of a surprise. Herbert is just unreal.
Let's give Tua a little bit of a break too, because he is coming off of horrendous, injury in college where he actually messed up his hips, so yeah, he came back and he rehabbed well to get back to where he could actually, pass the physicals, come and show off that he could still play. But at the same time, coming back from an injury like that, I can't believe that he's 100%. And if he is 100% physically, I don't know if he's 100% mentally and trusting his legs like he used to, because that was one of the things Tua had in his game as well, was he could tuck and run the ball, and he doesn't look as lightning fast or quick as he used to when he was in college. So I think that, another year of rehabbing and just getting stronger, getting a better feel for the league, I think he looks better. He has a solid arm to me. I think he actually knows defenses, the way he throws the ball, like he protects it. So when he gets his chance to start taking his shots, I think he'll open it up and make some good passes that we'll be surprised to see him make.
So we're talking about Brian Flores' coaching decision to get the 2 quarterback system. Can I tell you guys about one coaching decision that really pissed me off this last week?
Yes, please.
Alvin Kamara has 5 touchdowns. You have the ball 1 yard line. He eventually gets to 6, but he wants to give the ball to Taysom Hill for a little run in when you got a shot at history. Give Alvin Kamara the ball. Let my man get 7 touchdowns and break all the records. This Sean Payton, that was trash. Pure trash.
Yeah.
I didn't even look at that. I'm so sorry. I feel bad because I didn't even see that. I watched Taysom Hill score. Oh, way to go, Taysom. They still trying to get him some reps, show him that he's still the guy, but now that you say that, he could have got 7 with that easy one. Come
easily.
on.
Isn't that gross?
I was at a game. I was at a game when LaDainian Tomlinson against the 49ers in San Francisco, and I'm sure that, Marcus, you played in this game, but he scored 4 touchdowns, and you guys destroyed my 49ers. But that's the most I can ever remember seeing in person, and the most I can remember off the top of my head in the last few years. But, 6 touchdowns is great. 7 touchdowns, you were remembering that performance forever. Christmas Day, the Grinch cleats. Everybody's going to remember that.
Yeah, Taysom Hill got 1. That's gross.
Like the cleats by themselves, like, okay, you really unwrapping a present for these boys with 6 touchdowns right now. Like, I was like, he is going crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, Greg, you're spot on that one, bro. You're spot on, because that is disgusting that they Taysom Hill that ball and they could have just gave it to Kamara.
He'll probably never have that opportunity in his career again.
No one will.
No one will. Alvin Kamara and the Saints, they're scary. I will say that they're scary. Drew Brees looked a lot better in this game. He's getting his feet underneath him. I don't know. They're going to make a long run. They're going to make a deep run. Now, I have a hater prediction for you guys.
I love that Skraby hater.
Oh, it's a good one. It's a doozy, because I'm watching Monday Night Football last night, and by the way, the Patriots, I can't tell you, and Greg, I'm sure that you are just loving every second of their suffering, because you played in the AFC East forever.
Except for Cam Newton sucking. Everything else I loved when the Patriots suck.
That's
It's the best.
only bad part about this. It's like a win. Like oh my God, I hate that. It's like,
but he's going to be out of here
Patriots.
at the end of the year. He's not going to be the quarterback anymore. So he's going to be out of that situation. We could all look at the Patriots and love it, but my hater prediction is that Josh Allen, the quarterback of the Buffalo Bills, I'm going to tell you how their season's going to end.
All right, let's hear it.
It's going to be in the AFC Championship against the Chiefs.
Okay.
And what's going to happen is Josh Allen is going to be he's going to be on a good pace, maybe 300 yards, maybe 3 touchdown type of thing. And he's going to turn over the ball in this horrific way. And he's going to end it for his team and eliminate his team from the playoffs. Josh Allen's a good quarterback, but he is way too trusting of his ability right now. And I think that he is going, we've seen it before. He goes back, he runs in circles for 20 yards, and then he gets sacked. And it's like 4th and forever. And I feel like that Josh Allen is going to come out in the playoffs, and it's going to hurt his team big time. And I have no problems with Josh Allen. I just can't stand that everybody thinks he's the second coming of Joe Montana.
You know what, Skraby? I look at that hater prediction, and I actually see a congratulate.
Ooh, you see it happening.
Because what you said is that Josh Allen will take his team to the AFC Championship and lose to the best team in football.
Oh, you're picking apart my argument.
And I'm okay with that. If he throws a pick trying to beat the Chiefs going to the Super Bowl, that's all right. Josh Allen, great year. Good job, man.
Sorry,
Skraby.
Why aren't you a lawyer or something? That's what a lawyer does.
Josh Allen has actually been looking amazing this year. I am surprised at how good he looks this year, because last year it seemed like you couldn't pay him to stay on the field after third down. You know, it was pass after pass that he just could not complete on third down to keep him and the drive going. So to see him actually be able to move around out the pocket, I love it. He's more athletic than people want to give him, and he has a great arm. Stephon Diggs, them adding him, I think was probably the best thing that they could have did for him.
Oh, yeah.
And
Greg said that real quick. Greg said that on podcast number 1 that he's talked to Jacques Cesaire, who said he's the best wide receiver in the league.
Yeah.
Yep. Hey, to go with that.
Shout out to Jacques.
Shout out to Big Jock for getting his team where they are. But all right, everyone wants to credit Josh Allen, and I'm going your hater route, so you're gonna like this one, Skraby. They want to credit Josh Allen and his work on his mechanics for changing accuracy.
Yeah.
No, credit the general manager for getting him Stephon Diggs, because anyone's accuracy is going to get better when they got a receiver like that. I'm sure he worked on his mechanics. I'm sure they're improved. But you don't go 2 years of doing the same thing in the 50% and then suddenly jump up into the 60s because your mechanics changed. Stephon Diggs is what changed. And then you put him with Cole Beasley, and they got a nice thing going on out there.
Yeah, John Brown's not a number 1 receiver, and he can't even get on the field this year because he's been injured. But John Brown's just a speedster. If they don't have, they were in that situation last year. I can't think of a number 1 receiver that was in Buffalo last year other than John Brown. I can't think of anybody else, but getting Stephon Diggs is the difference for the AFC East. And that's when the Bills won for the first time since 1995. And Josh Allen is breaking all the records. And I appreciate Jim Kelly coming out and tweeting him saying, please keep breaking records.
Yeah. Hey, you love to see that, man. You don't want to see the grumpy old dude cheering against you.
Yeah.
How many times have we watched Jim Kelly come up short?
At least 4 times that I can remember.
Oh my God. I just hope that they don't bring those Buffalo Bills back, because every year they would be knocking on the door. And Jim Kelly was one of my favorite quarterbacks back then. I was like, he has to get one. And he could never find a way to put it together. So I'm hoping that fluke doesn't happen. My boy Jacques Cesaire is up there, man, and he's a good guy. So if they're having as much fun as they say they're having up there, I expect this team to go deep. And to be honest, the way KC looked yesterday playing against the Falcons,
yeah.
KC almost lost to the Falcons. If they don't drop that interception at the end of the game, KC loses to the Falcons yesterday.
That's true.
Let's be honest. So KC, when they're winning, they win big. It's like they put up points in bunches, you know what I'm saying? But when they're not looking good, like they look like they can be beat. And to be honest, that's the NFL. Like any team can be beaten any week. And when the playoffs come, like when it's won and gone, like that's when, you know what I'm saying, holes get tight, you know what I'm saying? People get a little bit nervous. Other people see those lights come on and they show up.
Yeah, I do.
What's it gonna be, Josh?
Do you still think they're the best team, Big Mac? Kansas City?
Who? Kansas City? Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. Like Travis Kelce, I mean, this guy, like,
he's a monster.
Unreal.
He is a monster out there, you know. And then the way Patrick Mahomes throws the ball, you add the speed with Tyreek Hill, Sammy Watkins, their backfield, you know what I'm saying? Then they got some dogs up front, you know what I'm saying, on the D-line as well. So to me, they're the most well-rounded team, you know what I'm saying, as far as offensive power. They kind of fall off a little bit on defense, but I'm not really seeing standout defense this year that's just playing all the way lights out. You know what I'm saying? Usually you'll have the Baltimore Ravens, you have the Patriots who usually carry a good defense. But some of those teams, you know, I've seen people put up points on them. Cleveland just put up plenty of points, a 40-piece on Baltimore just a week or two ago. And now everybody's on Baltimore's wave. Like, you know, now Baltimore is the next best thing smoking because they put up so many points the last 4 games. But if you look at their opponents, they haven't really played anybody.
Let me put you on the spot with a question that we had not prepped for this podcast. But Vegas just gave the odds for MVP in favor of Aaron Rodgers over Mahomes. Who is your MVP? Both of you guys.
I'll start, and I'll say, as much as I don't like the guy, Aaron Rodgers. I mean,
why don't you like him, haters?
I do. I see the way your face was forming. You was about to say Aaron Rodgers.
Oh yeah. You guys know me at least enough by this point to know when I'm going to come with a hater take. But I don't like Aaron Rodgers because he's kind of annoying. He's kind of a jerk off the field. Like, from what I've heard, like, he doesn't even talk to his family. He goes through relationships like that. like I don't know. I just am not a big fan of his, but he looks better than ever this year. And Patrick Mahomes has looked human in a couple games this year. Aaron Rodgers has 1 game this year where he looked human, and that was against the Tampa Bay Buccaneers in Tampa. And other than that, I can't think of another performance where I'm thinking, all right, that may have taken him out of the MVP conversation. But I think he's going to get his MVP when he's like 38 years old.
I'm taking Patrick Mahomes. You know what I'm saying? Like, to be honest, Mahomes, you know what I mean? The way they're playing right now, like, this kid is lights out. You know, he deserved it last year. You know what I'm saying? He deserves it this year. Like, he to me, he's proven himself to be the top quarterback in the league. So I'm just going with him. And plus, I'm not going to give it to Aaron Rodgers because he stunk it up for me the last 2 years in fantasy. This year to come out and be the man, get out of here. Get out of here. Come on.
What does the guy have? He's got like 46 touchdowns and 4 interceptions on the year. That's incredible. What are you going with, Greg?
Yeah.
Who are you going with?
Man, I change my mind every hour.
It's not Alex Smith, right? Remember a couple weeks ago when I was trying to fight? I feel embarrassed about that at this point. I feel embarrassed about that at this point.
Everything in me wants to say Patrick Mahomes, but we're talking value. So we're not just talking best player. The best player is Patrick Mahomes. If I'm starting a team, I'm starting with Patrick Mahomes, no questions asked. If we're talking about value, I think Aaron Rodgers is more valuable to his team than Patrick Mahomes. And I say that because Aaron Rodgers has fewer tools than Patrick Mahomes has and is doing the same thing. Their productivity, their numbers are similar enough. I think Mahomes is a better player. I think Aaron Rodgers at this moment is more valuable when it comes to his role. But I'll tell you something different tomorrow.
I think I'm giving it to Patrick too. As I'm kind of doing the AFC in my mind when I was thinking about that, the AFC compared to the NFC, right, as a whole.
Good point.
And this year, right now, the AFC kind of be
it's
like
stacked.
hitting the top.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So for him to be at the top of that league, to me, kind of tips towards him. Not saying Aaron Rodgers is a good player, but for you to be like the top in that league, I just feel like, you know, you have to be doing something, you know.
Every other podcast, Big Mac changed my mind on something that's now we have changed my mind. That's an excellent point.
You're back? You just went from Aaron Rodgers to Patrick Mahomes like that?
I'm back. Let's go, Patrick.
He beat my 49ers in the Super Bowl. I can't handle it. I can't handle it. Him and his annoying. I'm sorry. I'm sure she's a nice girl, but his annoying fiance who's flipping people off on Instagram just rubs me the wrong way.
All right, now this is something. And another thing I'm bringing up out of the blue. Did you guys see the picture his fiance tweeted with their Coors Light pajamas on?
I did. Yes, I did.
Big Mac, did you see it? If not, they tweeted out a Christmas picture with their in front of the Christmas tree with their Coors Light
Oh.
pajamas on. So NFL players can't promote alcohol. I don't think that means that their wives or fiancés can't promote alcohol. But this begs the question is, one, is she getting paid by Coors Light, which is fine with me. But two, are they drinking Coors Light out of preference? Because that's not fine with me. And then I'm going back to Aaron Rodgers for MVP.
Hold on for 1 second. She probably is if she's wearing Coors Light onesie.
I would hope so. I'm cool with that. That's
Number
fine.
two, as a drinker in my days, Coors Light was my thing. People knew I was a Coors Light guy because I could drink 30 of them and impress everyone at the party.
Can we just acknowledge that your drinking was not your best decision and what you were drinking was also not your best decision?
Very true. Very true. You know what? If I was going to drink Kahlua at 8 in the morning, I was going to drink Kahlua at 8 in the morning. It doesn't matter. I would take Coors Light in a heartbeat, man.
Oh, we know Big Mac likes to yak. That's his thing.
Hey, straight yak, baby. You know what I'm saying? Hey, I drink a cowboy coffee. I don't know if you ever heard of that, but it's like when you take the shot of whiskey and put it in your coffee in the morning. You know what I'm saying?
Goodness.
Like, it makes you feel tough sometimes.
It makes you feel tough. You know what happened when I used to drink in the morning? I used to fall apart. So it didn't make me feel tough. It just made me feel like a loser.
Hey, can I give you another debate that I've gone back and forth on, and I want to hear what your guys think?
Please.
All right, right now, where I'm at, and it's not an hourly thing. This is like a monthly thing.
Oh, monthly. Okay.
Tom Brady is the catalyst behind the Patriots dynasty, not Belichick. Where are you at, Skraby?
Where am I at? I have to say I agree with it this year because the quarterback play has been so terrible in New England that obviously they're not as good without Tom Brady. But Tom Brady, he's winning, but he looks okay sometimes, but other times he looks like he is 9,000 years old. And Tom Brady and Bill Belichick.
Father Time catching up with him.
Oh, yeah. Father Time is catching up. And give Belichick a little bit of time, and I think he'll be okay. He'll be fine. But right now, it looks like Tom Brady is the winner.
That's where I'm at. But, yeah, it changes often. But the only thing I will give to Belichick is they had 5 or 6 key players opt out this year.
That's true. Dante Hightower is one of them.
That wouldn't make them a division champion. It wouldn't put them in the playoffs. But that is a little handicap for him. But Tom Brady is finally starting to click. But when you got Antonio Brown as your 3rd or 4th option, you're looking Godwin,
You're
Gronk,
stacked.
Mike Evans, and then Antonio Brown. Like you're in a pretty good situation.
That's true. What do you think, Marcus?
That's a great point. That's a great point. But I gotta go with Tom Brady. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just that I'm not a Belichick fan. You know, if I had to pick Tom Brady or Bill Belichick, I would rather sit down with Tom Brady. He looks like he's just a lot more fun to me than Bill Belichick. And
after that phone throwing incident last night,
it's like Bill Belichick's like smug that he keeps on his face. Like, I don't like that about him. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then I have a great Belichick story.
Ooh, let's hear it.
We're playing in the Pro Bowl, right? And the New England Patriots, they had the coaching staff that year. So Belichick was out there, and I think this was my rookie year, and the Oakland Raiders had a defensive end by the last name Burgess, right? One of the best pass rushers in the NFL at the time. It's the Pro. We're literally nothing but walkthroughs and having my eyes by the pool. And he decides to make me go one-on-one with Burgess at the end of practice. And I'm like, are you serious right now, bro? Like, saying like, I did my thing, but, you know, at the same time, like, bro, like, come on, I'm off of 7 Mai Tais, you know what I'm saying? You sitting here trying to make me pass that on one leg. Like, man, get out of here. So ever since then, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just haven't really had the best taste in my mouth about Bill Belichick, you know.
You need a cowboy coffee and some courage instead of some Mai Tais right there.
That's true.
Hey, man, them Mai Tais used to go crazy, man. Like, I don't even, that's why I don't drink stuff with chasers anymore, because, like, they sneak on you. Like, if you have something that's too sweet and it just tastes like Kool-Aid and you just keep on drinking it, and you just end up, like, with the worst hangover. I'm throwing up. I'm doing all this crazy stuff in the morning, like, no, just give me my stuff straight, yak. You know what I'm saying? Maybe a little ice in there to water it down.
That's hilarious. That's a great
building
story.
An authentic brand. Nobody builds the authentic brand better than Big Mac.
That's true. That's true.
Man, come on.
Let's go one more topic before we hit the rapid fire. Let's do the Jets. You guys want to do the Jets ruining their shot at first overall pick by winning 2 games in a row? Sam Darnold gave the big fuck you to everyone out there.
I love it.
Who's like, hey, you want to see me gone? I'm going to go win 2 games, possibly 3. Let's move ourselves down a little bit more.
I love it. I mean, I've been 0-13. It's horrible. And so to rally and get a victory.
2 victories.
Great. To rally and get 2 victories, great.
In a row.
The GM has to be pissed because he's not going to get going. But hey, man, you're paying me to win football games, or at least do the best I can to win football games. That's what I'm going to do.
Yeah. Like, first of all, they beat Cleveland this weekend, right? That the Cleveland's who fell.
That whole
off.
thing was bad.
Yeah.
But so I'm trying to figure out. Just a week ago, I'm sitting there watching Cleveland play against Baltimore, and I'm thinking, dang, these boys actually look good without OBJ. And then they turn around and lose to the Jets. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't
have any of their receivers. They didn't have any of the receivers because they were all out on COVID. And so, but they still threw. The game plan shouldn't have been throw 50 times a game with my practice squad receivers. You have Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt. What are you doing?
What exactly? Come on now. Come on.
You've got two ways you can go with that. And it's one, hope that you can have a tight end or a running back that's good enough to start filling in those receiver slots and not change anything. Just you're going to play that spot. Or you got to just roll with the few plays that you have without receivers and expand that package. And whatever they did didn't work. I'll tell you that.
It did not work.
But Kareem Hunt is a great route runner, though. Like, he is a great route runner. Like, that's all they were talking about the Baltimore game, is how they can split him out and he can run routes and catch the ball. Come on, you got him and Nick Chubb in the game. I'm giving a heavy dose of those 2. If we can't win with those 2, like, then that's the game. But I'm not going to put it on Baker Mayfield with my receivers out.
I agree with you. And that's so Browns that they're now sitting on the outside looking in. They have to win. They have to hope for the Colts to lose. I believe it's the Colts. And it's just, I feel bad for them, actually, because they've had such a great year. And now all of a sudden they're on the brink of missing out in the playoffs.
I think their win and they're in. The Colts have to have somebody lose, which just got interesting. I'll make this quick, but the Steelers said they're not going to start Big Ben, so they're resting players, which tells the Bills that they're not going to be fighting for the number 2 spot, or at least the Steelers aren't going to be pushing for the number 2 spot where the Bills are, which means the Miami Dolphins, who are going to play the Bills, have a great shot at winning and getting into the playoffs. And they say it's because the Steelers don't want to see the Baltimore Ravens in the playoffs.
Who does? I mean, if I'm the Steelers, I don't want to see anyone.
I'd rather see the Dolphins than the Ravens.
Not right now. So you're right. So the Cleveland Browns clinched the playoff berth with a win versus Pittsburgh, versus Jacksonville, or a Tennessee loss, and Indy, Miami, and Baltimore wins. So they on the outside looking in. Like, come on, You had one thing to do, beat the Jets.
Kevin Stefanski, if he doesn't make the playoffs this year, he's going to regret the decision to maybe throw 50 times with Baker Mayfield and practice squad receivers. These guys were like, there's nothing against practice squad receivers, but I'm not putting my entire season on a bunch of guys who are on the practice squad. We're talking about practice squad.
Practice squad.
We're talking about practice squad, man. All right, let's finish it up with a little rapid fire.
Put on your word association hats because it's rapid fire time.
Let's go, baby.
Did you guys see what JJ Watt said after the game on Sunday? He basically called out his entire organization. And if you guys want to hear it, I just pulled it up, and of course there's going to be an ad, so let's mute that real quick, and I can just keep talking until I can skip the ad, which I just did. So I'm going to share my computer with you guys, and we are going to listen to JJ Watt talk about his team after they lost.
If you can't come in and put work in the building, go out to the practice field and work hard, do your lifts and do what you're supposed to do, you should not be here. This is a job. We are getting paid a whole lot of money. There are a lot of people that watch us and invest their time and their money into buying our jerseys and buying a whole bunch of and they care about it. They care every single week. We're in week 16 and we're 4-11, and there's fans that watch this game, that show up to the stadium, that put in time and energy and effort and care about this. So if you can't go out there and you can't work out, you can't show up on time, you can't practice, you can't want to go out there and win, you shouldn't be here. Because this is a privilege. It's the greatest job in the world. You get to go out and play a game. And if you can't care enough, even in week 17, even when you're trash, when you're 4-11, if you can't care enough to go out there and give everything you've got and try your hardest, that's bullshit. So that's how. I think there are people every week that still tweet you, that still come up to you and say, hey, we're still rooting for you. We're still behind you. They have no reason whatsoever to. We stink. But they care, and they still want to win, and they still want you to be great. That's why. Those people aren't getting paid. We're getting paid handsomely. That's why. And that's...
I'm just going to stop it right there because he's just shaking his head. But at the same time, I'm like scared of him. I want to get this video off of my screen as soon as possible because he's going to murder me.
He sounds like Stone Cold Steve Austin.
He kind of did. He kind of did.
I was going to say he sounds like Booger McFarland is what he sounds like.
It's very...
Yeah, he almost did. Minus the African-American part.
yeah, exactly. The whole thing with that. But JJ Watt, he's saying all the right things. I applaud him for saying it. And that's interesting that the Dwayne Haskins thing is going on while JJ Watt is over in Houston trying to get his team to play. And he's like, we're 4-11. We suck. I love that line. That was a great line. But rapid fire, JJ Watt, what do you guys think? Let's start with you, Greg.
Wasted talent. The team sucks. He's
That's a great one. Marcus?
Still dedicated. You know, I heard him can't come in and get your lift in. Like you know what I'm saying? I'm still got to be getting my power squats in, you know what I'm saying? Week 16, JJ? Like, you know what I'm saying? My quads are they're not going to get any more blasted, you know what I'm saying? Week 16.
But that week 17, yeah.
Oh, man. Big Mac, when did you start abandoning lifts? I'm really curious what a lineman did.
With a what? When
did you a month before the season was over, I was done with effort in the weight room. Zero effort.
Easy. Like, we used to come in on like Thursdays just to like pump up the guns and stuff, you know, before the games, and that's about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, by week, I would say by like midway through week 8, by the time the body's starting to get worn and stuff like that, it's more like a walk-in. I'm gonna look at my coach, you know what I'm saying, the strength and conditioning coach, give him like 2 good reps on something to let them know that, you know what I'm saying, I'm here, you know, and then like try to find the quickest exit out, you know what I'm saying, as soon as they turn their back and start talking.
Might be why JJ Watt is always hurt, man. Get out the weight room, JJ.
Maybe.
Put the squats down.
Put the squat rack down.
Hey JJ, when you're don't be throwing stones at glass houses because you've missed a lot of games in your career, Mister. I don't know. I'm not gonna criticize JJ Watt. I didn't criticize you, JJ Watt. I didn't. All right, Marcus. Next name, Seahawks head coach Pete Carroll.
Ooh. Pete Carroll. Wonder Boy. I like him. You know what I'm saying? I like Pete Carroll. You know what I'm saying? I like Pete Carroll. I like his attitude. He's like the Dabo Sweeney of the NFL. You know what I'm saying? Like he's the type of coach that I would like to play for because he's gonna come and give you that motivation that you need. You know what I'm saying? To play. So I like what he has going on in Seattle. You know, defense playing with now. Already has Russell Wilson. You know what I'm saying? Who's going to be a phenomenal quarterback and. He just always finds a way, no matter what players are still there, what players leave, galvanize that team to be a contender. So I'm going to call him the Wonder Boy.
All right. That's a good one. Pete Carroll, Greg.
So everything in my body wants me to say, and it's because I went to Stanford and played against the games with Reggie Bush that were vacated. I want to say Pete the Cheat. But
Pete the Cheat!
I'm going to take the high road, and I'm going to say Old Faithful because
it's too late.
He's like Mike Tomlin, man. The dude's been winning for a decade. You can't hate on that.
You cannot hate on that.
Too late. You got all the Pete. I heard Pete. I didn't hear anything else past Pete the Cheat.
Yeah, I believe I'm going to start using Pete the Cheat for the rest of my life when I'm talking about Pete Carroll.
That's cool. I support that.
Okay, good. We're going to go to another head coach who is struggling a little bit lately, and he usually, to me, has a little bit of a clueless look on his face. And Greg, I'm talking about Mike Vrabel.
Oh, I thought you were going Anthony Lynn with that one.
By the way, Anthony Lynn has probably secured for next year, but
I like my what is my Belichick Jr.
You played against him, I'm sure, a lot.
Yeah, I didn't like him then. I like him as a coach. Belichick Jr. is my response.
Okay, Marcus.
Better than player.
Better coach than player.
Yeah, like to be honest, like he was a great player. He was so smart. To like their instincts, where it seems their instincts are just like super quick, but actually it's just that they're so smart on the field that they make up for a lack of athleticism. You know what I'm saying? A lack of speed, things like that. So. To me, you see that with him as a coach. His defense usually is pretty strong, minus them losing Clowney this year, so they absolutely have no pass rush. But I actually like him better as a.
Interesting, because I didn't expect that, but. Mike Vrabel, I guess you're right. Anthony Lynn is the coach with the clueless look on his face. Should I call a timeout? I don't know. I'm just going to call a timeout. Coach, you don't have any timeouts. Oh, that's right. I don't have any timeouts. Marcus, last one, and we're going to go to Atlanta, and we're going to talk about the running back for the Falcons, Todd Gurley.
Oh, man.
Sorry?
No, I'm not gonna do my dog like.
Oh no, I didn't mean sorry like he's terrible. I meant like sorry like he had a good career now he's been injured.
Yeah. The Falcons were too late. They should have picked him straight. The Falcons were too late. That's what I'm gonna say about Todd Gurley. I'm supposed to be one word, but we're just gonna say they should have got him and drafted him when they had a chance to draft him out of college when he still had his fresh legs, you know what I'm saying? He was still running and doing everything that he needed to do. I think at this point in his career, he's a little bit beat up, you know what I'm saying? And didn't really get to display the type of talent that I wish he could have in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm. Greg, Todd Gurley.
He's overpaid. And unfortunately, that's the trend for running backs. The only excessively paid running back that's worth it is Derrick Henry. You look at Le'Veon Bell, not worth it. You look at Todd Gurley, Melvin Gordon, all those guys chasing money. They're overpaid. Derrick Henry's the only one worth the big bucks.
That is true.
I give Dalvin Cook some money, though. I give Cook the bag too.
Has he re-signed? Is he on a big contract?
No, I don't think he's on the big contract.
No,
yet.
there's some good running backs. Not take that back. Alvin Kamara is worth it. They just gave him like a bazillion dollars.
They
He's
did.
worth every penny. So I take that back. But Todd Gurley is overpaid.
Dalvin Cook signed a 5-year, $63 million deal.
I've changed my mind again. There are multiple running backs worth the money that I'm making.
You know how much?
One running back.
You know how much he makes? You know how much he's making this year in base salary? He's making less than $1 million. He's making $825,000.
What's his bonus?
His signing bonus was $3.8 million. So his cap hit is $4.6 million. That's not much.
That's not bad.
That's not bad. But next year it goes up a little bit, and then by 2025 he's making $12.9 million. But he has a potential out, so I don't think he's going to be taking that out. All right, guys, this was a good episode. Episode number 9. I didn't say that in the beginning. It's December 29th, 2020. It's at night. We just finished. It's around 9:25 p.m. If you want to hear all of our podcasts, we are on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Just search 2 Pros and a Joe, the number 2 Pros and a Joe, and the Pros has an apostrophe between the O and the S because it looks better. And my phone just decided to grammatically change it when I was typing it out. So that's how we got that. If you want to follow any of us on social media, you can. You can follow Greg at Catch Camarillo. You can follow Marcus at Marcus McNeil 73. You can follow me at Matt Skraby, and follow us at 2 Pros and a Joe on Twitter and Instagram. And we appreciate everyone listening. We appreciate all the feedback. We appreciate people following us. Please rate us, review us, and reach out to us. Really, we want to hear from you. We want to hear what you like. We want to hear what you don't like. We want to hear what your thoughts are on the topics that we talk about. So you guys have any good New Year's plans coming up?
Yeah, to be asleep by midnight.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Are we all that old now
my
that we're asleep?
What are you gonna do? Go outside and catch COVID? No, I gotta go to bed.
Let's not catch COVID. But I mean, I think we passed that point. Like we know the people who go out on New Year's Eve Friday. And
Yeah.
Dwayne Haskins.
He definitely does. And you know what? Every New Year's I've ever had is always a disappointment. The plans are going into the night are like, it's going to be the greatest night of our lives. And then we're standing outside of a club until midnight and trying to get in. So
Yep.
it's
Fair.
great. But that's it for episode number 9, 2 Pros and a Joe. Happy New Year, everyone. Next time we talk to you, it'll be 2021.
Hold on 1 second.
Yeah, what's up?
I have to give an anniversary shout out to my wife because by the day we come back, our anniversary is January 1st. That way I couldn't forget. You know what I'm saying? and shout out to Ivy. Love you, baby.
There we go. There we go. Happy anniversary to you too. Love that. Love that.
What number is that, Big Mac?
Hold on now. You're going to get me in trouble.
Cut. I'm done. We're done. We're out. Goodbye.
Line number 6.